Alright people, Mike Salden here again. Welcome back to another Final Fantasy video. This is my Platinum Trophy journey for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Really long Platinum, took like 200 hours. You can probably cut that down a bit if you're more skilled at the game than me, but I'm pretty terrible. So the first few trophies were just combat trophies that you get in the very first area. I think for like staggering an enemy and for pressuring an enemy maybe. And yeah, these are just trophies anyone can get. These are all in the very first area with Cloud telling the story about how he and Sephiroth and Tifa went up to the Nibelheim reactor or whatever. Explorative practice, exploitative practice, yeah, I think that's for just hitting an enemy's weakness with fire or just whatever their weakness is. These first, again, like 10 trophies or so, they're all going to be for just doing combat related things. I think this is for doing a special move with Sephiroth. Let's see this next one. Yeah, no eye and synergy. I guess that's just for triggering a synergy move. Playing as Sephiroth was a nice surprise. I wish that later when you get to him in the VR challenges, when you complete the VR challenges, if you were able to unlock a virtual Sephiroth for your party to follow you around or something, just to make that reward for doing the VR challenges a lot better, because the reward for doing them really is not worth it at the moment, just to get the platinum. Queen's Blood, of course, I think that's for beating the first player. Queen's Blood was amazing. Probably the best in-game card game I've played. I didn't think Gwent from Witcher 3 would ever be overtaken, but I just completely loved Queen's Blood and the level of strategy involved and the amount of different ways you could defeat an opponent. Yeah, Queen's Blood is great. A materia world, I guess that's for picking up a materia out here in the open world somewhere. Or leveling up a materia, that's what that one will be. I think I upgraded Tifa's chakra materia. Fledgling summoner, that's again just doing a summon for the first time. I summoned the Chocobo and the Moogle. I think that's the first summon that you automatically have in the game, so most people will probably summon that. Intelligence aid, actually not sure what that one was for. Maybe it's for doing completing a fiend intel in the open world. There's loads of those to do for Chadley. Yeah, expert exventer. What is that? I think that's for finding a transmuter chip with your Chocobo. Yeah, that's probably what that is. I break for Chocobos. That's just fixing one of the Chocobo hot travel spots. You really want to unlock a lot of those because in hard mode, the Chocobo stops where you put down a cushion are the only way to get MP back. It's pretty strange, to be honest. I don't get why normal benches can't give you MP back. Just put a cushion down on one of those, Cloud. You work for me now. I think that's for getting the first summon materia from the VR challenges. Weapons 101. I guess that's for getting a proficiency ability from one of the weapons. I got that while doing the first few VR challenges. VR challenges at the start, they're really easy, but dear God, do they get hard. Founder's bonus, that's for getting the first proto relic, I'm pretty sure. That's a really big side story in the game. Get the proto relic and do all the Gilgamesh stuff. Really important to do that as well. Entering new markets, I think that's for completing this side story for the Chocobo trainer guy, whatever his name is, who thinks Bill killed his family or whatever. Unfettered Friendship, I think that's for doing... actually not sure what that's for doing. I think it's another combat trophy. Director of Regional Intelligence, that must be completing an entire area. Again, you'll be doing a lot of this, going around the open world. I kind of got burnt out with it after the fourth area where you're doing the world intelligence. But it wasn't too bad. It was pretty balanced throughout the game. When you did more linear sections, like going through this set of mines with Barrett and Red 13, and it was kind of on rails. And then you get to the next open world section. The pacing was pretty good, but when you are trying to 100% and get the platinum, you can get burned out pretty easy on this game if you just go after everything on a first playthrough. Intelligence specialist, again, I think that's for completing all of the Fort Condor the intel requests, and then you get your Fort Condor Commander, second proto relic. Fort Condor was great. I wish there was more Fort Condor, to be honest. I did all the hard mode ones and the regular levels. Seventh Assemble, that's for getting all the 10 possible units to join Cloud for the March in June the big celebration parade. Stealing the show. This is for getting an S rank, I believe, when you do the little mini game during the march. You have to do some button prompts. It's sort of like a rhythm game, and then you get your S rank, and then you're the winner of that show. I think that was a story trophy, the President's Commendation. That's just for getting onto the boat and going on a cruise where you just play Queen's Blood for 3 hours or whatever. Card royalty, I think that's for winning the prize. Of course, you win the prize when you're going for the 100%. I don't know what happens if you actually lose any of the matches, if you can fail the tournament or not. I've never tried it, to be honest. I guess that's another story trophy. The cryptic cameo, I think that's after you fight the Genova boss on there. And here's Yuffie, Fun in the Sun. I guess that's for recruiting Yuffie. Another story trophy. Can't really miss this. You can try to tell her to go away, but she just joins you anyway. She was optional in the original game. And oh dear God, this setup minigame, this took me for ages to do. I just could not beat Jules. I thought I was actually beat here because she was in 49 and I was in 48. But I just clutched it up and got to 51. And yeah, it was so tricky to do this one compared to the pull-ups in the last one for some reason. And I think that was the last one I had to do, 51-49. It was close. But yeah, thank God that's over. I hope they don't bring that back in part 3, or mini game with Jules. The price progress, another story trophy. This is just for getting the golden saucer, I'm pretty sure, after Bart's hometown. Worth the wait. I guess that was for doing a little Zack section or story trophy. His sections it's really hard to remember what happens in them because they're so far apart and so brief. It's kind of strange that he's on the front cover. 1-star startup, that's for starting the Johnny Hotel. It's probably the longest trophy in the game is getting the 7-star hotel because you have to basically do everything in the game. Give him every treasure. So I'd had a lot of items collected already from 100%ing everything, so I got the 3-star hotel immediately after that as well, because I'd been doing everything possible so far. But yeah, about Zack, it was kind of strange. He was in the front cover when he wasn't in the game that much. He must have about 30 minutes of screen time if you added all up, maybe a bit more than that. But yeah, that was strange. Queen's Blood, again, I think, is this the Nightmare Survival Camp or whatever? This is one of the hardest ones to do. No, this is just the Survival Boot Camp. This is actually not as bad as the Nightmare one. I still think I just barely won here, did I? Oh no, I actually did pretty well, 70 versus 36. I think this is where you get your Sephiroth card. I think this was needed for a trophy, just do all the Queen's Blood stuff you can. It's definitely worth it to get the Sephiroth card anyway. So yeah, I just left in a little bit of footage of Queen's Blood there, I guess. Honorary Turk, again, that's for getting another proto relic. I think you had to fight the Turks for this one. I think there's 4 of those you had to get, and then you do the Gilgamesh super boss fight. Crying out, I guess that's another story trophy for getting to Cosmo Canyon. Probably my least favorite area, sadly, because the Chocobo challenges in that area just made me lose my mind, and it sort of soured me on the whole Cosmo Canyon section. Got another proto relic over there, but in the Cosmo Canyon. But yeah, doing that flying challenge in Cosmo Canyon with the Chocobos, it was just crazy, to be honest. And this is another story trophy. This is for arriving in Nibelheim, I guess. And this was for completing all the all the little Moogle side quests, so you can unlock their Emporium, so you can buy stuff. I think there's 5 of those you have to do. It's just rounding up the little Moogles. Not a bad minigame. Professional Handler. I think that's the final proto relic, was it? The armor piece. And after this, I think you go fight Gilgamesh. We'll add some other stuff to do first. Piano Virtuoso, that was for doing all the pianos, the piano sheet music, getting an A rank in each of them. Wasn't too bad for me. I heard a lot of people had trouble with the piano, but I guess all the Yakuza games I play, I'm pretty okay at mini games and rhythm mini games, especially by now. I definitely think the people who made Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, the team at Square, they've been playing a lot of Like a Dragon games. I can sort of tell from all the mini games and just how they play and stuff. And also the way Cloud gets a segue in Costa del Sol, and he zooms about on that in his little Hawaiian shirt. It reminded me a lot of Ichiban in Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth. 5-star Hotel, that was for collecting a lot more stuff for Johnny, doing all the Chocobo races. Some more Queen's Blood. This is the Nightmare Survival one. This is after you've done everything else to do with Queen's Blood, completed the main Queen's Blood quest. You should do Nightmare Survival mode. And I think how I won was using this, using the final cards you got from the Queen's Blood quest in this final round. Because I was always getting here with a lot of points, and then it just all got taken away. So I was like, I'm just going to do the exact same thing that the enemy does here and play the Queen's Blood, the Nightmare Queen card, or whatever she's called. And hopefully that just causes me to win. Because this round, I think what she does is enfeeble every card on the board, or damage every card on the board, and then that powers up the Queen card. So, since I've got the exact same card, whatever she does to herself is going to occur to me as well, I believe. So she's not going to have that much of a victory over me, and it's going to keep me in the lead. I think that was my plan. I think it just barely worked here. Because she couldn't play the way she wanted exactly, because all I've done is put out one card. And anytime she just had to go for that, and yeah, I'm pretty sure I just barely win here. My strategy worked anyway, and yeah, it was 94-76, so it was close. But yeah, I saved the Queen card for the final round because I was like, I'm tired of losing at this final round. Let me just play the same card she does and see what happens. And then yeah, I just won by saving up that card. I think I was pretty lucky still, but yeah. Queen's Blood is amazing though. Critically acclaimed. That was for doing the show with the Golden Saucer, Loveless, where Aerith has her Disney princess song. And I really hope Sephiroth gets a villain song in the part 3, since Aerith got a princess song to sing. It would be pretty funny if Sephiroth just whips out into a Disney villain theme. Like Raphael in Baldur's Gate 3, when you do his boss fight and he sings his own villain theme. It's pretty funny. My job is done here. I think that's for doing everything at the Golden Saucer and beating the party animal executive from Shinra or whatever, and doing all the minigames. Defeating Sephiroth in the 3D brawler, that was agony. It was so hard. I had to do the thing where you pause before each one of his moves, so you can see what direction he's coming in. And even then, it was so hard to dodge all his attacks. Hearts Out, Dukes Up, again, another story trophy. I think that's just for completing chapter 12, I think, because Vincent's there. Let's see what was next. Staggering Success. Oh yeah, this is for doing, was it like 300% damage or something when an enemy's staggered? Or maybe 9,900 damage, something like that. It was really easy on Gilgamesh. When you have Tifa, you can just wheel on him and you can get that trophy pretty easily. Yeah, Bladesman Legend, that's for defeating Gilgamesh, the big super boss. He really wasn't that bad compared to all these VR challenges you do later. Materia Completionist, this was for just getting the last of the materia from Chadley. After you've done every possible bit of intel in the world, you can just buy all the materia he has. Swift Cast, one of the most important ones. Grind It Out, that's for getting the level 70 with the character. I got that during these VR challenges. Probably the biggest grind in the game is the VR challenges and trying to do all those. They easily added like 30 hours to the playtime, to be honest, the VR challenges, because I was so bad at them. And I'm here for you. I guess that's a story trophy. So I started off with some VR challenges and then I just continued with the story because the VR challenges were so bad. I was like, I'm going to come back to most of these later, I guess. Continuance of Worlds, I guess, was that the final trophy for seeing the ending? Is this... And I went back and did some more arena stuff. Are you not entertained? That's the Golden Saucer Arena. I think it's just for completing every round in there. So I guess after the main story I went back to chapter 12 when you have chapter select. And then I leveled up all the characters correctly to get the well-rounded trophy where they have all their abilities unlocked or whatever. And I think that's what that trophy's for, well-rounded, get all the abilities unlocked on each character. Again, into some VR challenges. I'm not going to show them all, but this is one of the hardest ones, the Rulers of the Outer World. This is the final round against Sephiroth. And he's absolutely terrifying in this section because he can just wipe your party after a 4-round fight to get to him. You have to do a very specific cheese with Yuffie where you get ATB ward down. Then she does Brummel form to keep getting everyone to 2 ATB. Because the ATB ward charges up everybody else. Then you get mana wall on everyone. I think I just barely got it on everybody before Sephiroth froze Yuffie in place. I actually thought I was defeated already here. But it looks like Bart was still able to do stuff. Bart was still free. And Aerith was still free. So what did I have Aerith do? Did I have her put on a shield or something? No, just do fire level 3 on Sephiroth, get some damage onto him. She's got her arcane ward down, so she's doing more damage. We're all frozen in place now, and if you don't get mana wall on everybody quick enough, Sephiroth's just going to do this instant death attack where he just wipes the party. But because I managed to just get mana wall cast on everybody with Magnify, it's yeah, he does his big Octo Slash where he just freezes you in place. And this should have just killed everybody, but we have mana wall, so I think we just barely managed to survive. Now we can get back to the strategy where Yuffie was on the ATB ward. Aerith, no, you don't have 2 ATB. So Bart, what was I having you do here? Lifesaver or something to take some heat off the rest of us. Yuffie, now Aerith can do fire level 3. Just do it. You're not on your arcane ward, but oh, you warp back to. You must have your auto unique ability, so you're just gonna do fire level 3 because Sephiroth's weak to fire. Eventually he starts absorbing fire once he gets to half health, and then you have to swap to another ability because you'll just heal him for a lot of damage. So yeah, all Yuffie does is jump about on this one spot in Brummel form, and it keeps charging up everybody else's ATB, and Aerith can just spam fire forever, because I think she has MP absorb on, so she's taking back MP every time she does it. I had bar cast Mana Wall again, just because I was afraid something was going to go wrong. So just for extra security. Now Sephiroth, where is he down at half health yet? So I noticed he was just about at half health. So now it's time to do another attack because he's gonna start absorbing. He's gonna start absorbing health. If you do fire on him. So let's see, what was I doing here? Just start firing in Blizzard instead, because now he's strong to fire. Yeah, that's him swapping to being able to absorb fire. So yeah, this actually went a lot smoother than I thought. I was just very lucky at the start to get Mana Wall cast when I did. And then that's how you take down Sephiroth. It's probably the scariest Sephiroth is in the game, is in this VR challenge, because it takes so long to get to him. And if you get party wiped at the very start of that fight, it's so soul destroying. And that unlocks you the best item in the game, the infinite limit break item, or the auto limit break item at the start of battle. You really need that for a lot of stuff later in the game, and it really helps you get through hard mode when you have that item. This is an RVR challenge. This is Cloud's solo bouts. Not going to show all of his either, but I'm just going to show the fight against the Iron Golem or whatever it's called here, because I found it really hard for some reason. I couldn't really dodge his attacks that well. The trick is to sort of stay behind him. I was nearly wiped out here. I have HP absorb on wind, so if Cloud can get that cast, or maybe it's on thunder. Do I have that? Yeah, thunder is going to heal me as well. He threw out fire there and it didn't do anything to me. I guess I blocked it or something, did I? Or did I just dodge out of the way in time? See, I was trying to build up 2 ATB, get Thunder level 3 on him. Yeah, it healed me up a bit. I've got a limit break if I'm in serious danger. And I looked like I was in danger here, but yeah, I did go for it. Try to stagger him, I guess. I'll just do whatever level of Thunder I have to get some health back. Dodge that crushing attack. That would have destroyed me if he grabbed me there. Oh my god, look at my health. It was so bad. Trying to build up 2 ATB. Roll away. Oh, he's doing his massive sword attack. Oh, that was so close. And I just managed to get level 2 Thunder on him, or level 3 Thunder on him. And that was that challenge. I was always dying on that Ironclad Golem, or whatever he's called. So that was a really challenging one. It might have actually been harder than Rulers of the Outer World, because the Yuffie cheese was really effective. That ATB ward and spam Brummel form. But solo Cloud was pretty hard. I'm going to put this on 2 times speed. But this is the Bonds of Friendship VR mission. This is really the biggest barrier to the Platinum. You have to fight 10 bosses in a row. All the summons, basically. And some other hard enemies. And Zack is your partner, and he's really not that powerful at all. And you didn't get to select his materia loadout, so it's basically Cloud doing all the work while Zack sort of buffs Cloud. And again, I was basically using a HP absorb and MP absorb spam with Cloud, where what you want to do is get into prime mode most of the time. Build up 2 ATB and spam wind on most enemies. That was the plan, while getting Zack to cast Faith on Cloud so he does extra damage with his magic. Just keeping us in 2 times speed just to get through this a bit quicker, because I don't want the video to be like an hour and a half long. But yeah, I thought people would want to see the Bonds of Friendship. This isn't all the enemies, because the first few become really simple and easy to get through, and then it starts getting more difficult from about round 4 to the end. Then it's pretty tricky. This guy, the trick with him is you've got to stop him doing his little summon thing when he's about to do it. You have to cast Wind level 3 on him to stop him charging through it. I think he made it into it there now because he's changed to a different element. And when he does that, you have to change up whatever element you're spamming on him. Managed to cast stop on him, and that put an end to his charging for now. And he's almost pressured, and now we've staggered him. Hopefully we can just spam wind on him. Getting Zac to spam his as well. Really probably shouldn't do that too much because Zac really needs his MP to be able to buff Cloud later. I was being a bit silly here when I was doing this, but sometimes this fight was messing me up and I was dying at it a lot, and I was like, this time I just want this over with, because this round, it's sort of easy when you know what you're doing, but it can get tedious after a while redoing this over and over, and then you sort of just want to speed it up after a while, and you really shouldn't be using too much of Zac's MP, because he really needs that to raise Cloud if he falls, and to cure everybody if their health's really low in emergencies. But yeah, this round isn't too bad once you know what you're doing. And yeah, we've almost got him down now, and just another level 3 wind and we've got him. And then the Ironclad, he's not as bad when there's two of us here. You can swap to another character to aggro him, and then he'll go for that character. Activating the Prime mode with Cloud is probably the biggest key to winning most of these fights, because he builds up ATB. Oh, I actually went down here. See, this is why you need a save MP for Zac in case someone goes down. Then he could raise Cloud. Zac really does not have a lot of health left here, so he might need to cure himself. Because if he goes down, Cloud, I don't have raise on Cloud. Oh, he actually did go down. Did this? Oh, I remember this now. I think Cloud had to solo this now from this point of the fight, because Zac was down. It probably actually helped me in the long run, because I wasn't wasting MP with Zac. I just had to clutch up and do this solo. And I wasn't that scared of the Iron Golem anymore, or the Ironclad, because I'd fought him so many times solo during Cloud's legendary bout. So I was kind of getting a bit better here. I wasn't getting hit as much. I was just spamming that wind, using Prime mode to get the ATB up quick, dancing around him, spamming the wind. And suddenly it didn't feel too bad that Zac wasn't here. It was probably for the best that he went down, so I couldn't waste any of his limited MP. Took a bad hit there, but I had 2 ATB, so I could just get my health back. His HP absorb, that's still the most OP thing in the game, really. HP and MP absorb. Putting that on the correct combo of spells, it really helps you out. Alexander, he in theory should be one of the easier bosses, because he doesn't really move about too much, but I was getting stuck on him quite a bit and messing up the strategy where you have to destroy his arms at the right time and then spam your electricity attack on his main body. Just it was really easy to get knocked out of the pattern, and then he puts this thing down on the floor and it just completely can mess up the entire thing. Had to swap to Zac, go in behind him, hope that he was going to start targeting Zac. Did I get a chance to cure us there? Put mana wall on everybody, so his magic's going to do less damage. That wasn't really meant to be part of the strategy. I've seen runners where they defeat Alexander before he can even move across the battlefield, which is what you should be aiming for, but just because I was messing this up a little, it takes a lot longer than it should have. I've seen people wipe Alexander in like a minute, and it took me a bit longer than that here, but I think I did pull it back from the brink of disaster. Doing thunder on him, trying to break his arms. You really do want him to have his arms so he can't do all this magic abilities that he's doing, and I'm trying to pressure him, using air to get health back. And yeah, now I need to do, is it thunder or wind? It wasn't too bad there, but I did kind of mess up the strategy. This is the Mind Flayer. He's honestly not so bad. He's kind of like a break after all these tough enemies Because all you want to do really is, again, use Prime mode, build up your ATB and spam Wind. And Zac casts Faith and maybe a little mana wall on Cloud for security if you have time to do that. But yeah, just build up 2 ATB. I think I cast Mana Wall. Really, Mana Wall on Cloud, and then into Prime mode, build up ATB, spam Wind. That's sort of what you want to do in every round. And also cast Faith on Cloud so he does extra magic damage. And aside from that, Zac's just going to sort of be there, drawing fire. He went down again on this round. This was actually the run where I did do it. And I think it just proves how useless Zac is a lot of the time when he's always going down and Cloud's doing most of the work. I wonder if someone at Square had a grudge against Zac and they're like, we're going to show this guy in a really poor light. We're going to add him as the other character in the hardest thing in the game. And it's going to make Cloud look so badass in comparison when he's soloing all these bosses because Zac's on the ground most of the time. Bahamut, this is a really scary one. He's boss 9 of 10. And if you get all the way to him and then lose, it felt so terrible to have gone all that way and then just fail at the final hurdle. You have to get Mana Wall on Cloud again, as usual. And then you've got to damage Bahamut's wings. You've got to get rid of his wings before he can do the big laser beam attack, whatever it's called. Because if he gets that off, it's going to just completely wipe you. You have to get both his wings. Then he's going to be pressured. You've got to use Prime mode to try to build up that 2 ATB quick. I was really not that quick at it here, and he sort of gets away, I think, before I can cast it. I did get the wind on him, but he should have been more pressured there from that. And you've got to block his big attacks with R1 while you're in Prime mode, and that builds up your ATB. Then you can just destroy his wings when you've got that ATB. Again with Wind level 2. And then this time, I think I was a bit quicker on the draw, getting the 2 ATB built up so that I could do the Wind. Did he escape again? Yeah, he escaped again. You see, he should have been more pressured there. I just wasn't quick enough. Cloud got grabbed there, I think, but it's not too bad because I think he's got Mana Wall on him. Was I double checking if he has Mana Wall? Zac, he's really not got a lot to do here except cast Mana Wall and Faith. I think I had to have him cast Wind here because I was in trouble. Yeah, get that out of here. I think we just about managed to survive that. I think I went and did our synergy ability because that gives Zac free casting his for a while. His MP's not going to need the MP because he was a little low on it here. And I definitely need some MP back for Odin so that he can cast Mana Wall on us. Again, he's trying to do the thing with the wings. You just have to keep damaging his wings and not let him do that. Goddamn. Zac having free MP was good there because he could cast Arrow really quick. Now we've finally staggered Bahamut, which we should have done ages ago. And then you just cast Wind level 3. He still got out of that and survived. And oh, this was looking so dodgy here. Do I actually survive this because it looks so bad? Cloud's so badly injured. I think I managed to get Zac to cast healing on us. We just put in the Wind on the wings again. Try to pressure him. Build up the 2 ATB, get Wind in there. Yeah, and we just managed to take him down. Bahamut, in a way, is sort of scarier than Odin. But Odin can just wipe you out as well if you don't take him out in time. So I cast Mana Wall on Cloud, so we're taking half magic damage and half physical damage. And then we're casting, we're doing Prime. We're trying to build up our 2 ATB so we can spam Wind and block his attacks with R1. You sort of have to get good at doing that in Prime mode. I was sort of making a mess of this. but it's because I was so scared, because it takes so long to get to Odin, and it's so nerve-wracking when you do get here. And I think Zack, he really needs to be casting Faith on me at some point, so I'm doing more magic damage. But at the moment, I was just focusing on filling up the 2 ATB. Yeah, block his attacks. As soon as you block the attack, do wind level 3. Swap over to Zack, try to build up some ATB. Get a little bit of Faith. Is that what I'm doing here? Yeah, Faith on Cloud, so he's doing extra magic damage. Should have had that on earlier, but I went with Mana Wall for the security reasons, just to make sure Cloud survives. Block the attacks when you can, build up the 2 ATB, block the attacks. Cast Wind level 3, try to get him pressured quickly or staggered quickly, and then just go to town on him when he's staggered. Build up that 2 ATB, get your wind attack. Come on, Cloud, do it. Yes, you've got to really get him down to half health or below so that you can survive this, because he's going to do his big I think he's going to do Temporal Shift at the moment. I think I cast Mana Wall again, did I, to make sure Cloud survives? Or what did I do here? Yeah, Mana Walled. Yeah, just in case it was starting to wear off. I was really paranoid. This is the best I'd ever done, I think. I was just trying to cast Arrow level 3 again. Come on, Cloud. Nice job. We've done really well on his health. Then he's going to do this Temporal Shift thing shortly. Which you really have to defeat him while he's doing that. When he brings up, yeah, Temporal Shift, he's going to bring up a big wall in the center of the arena. I can't remember if you're supposed to be in it or not. Zack was out of MP, so he was going to be no good to me. So I decided to use the synergy. Get his MP so it's going to be free, so he can cast Emergency Cure or Emergency Mana Wall again. Yeah, he's going to cure us with level 4 Cure, and it's magnified. Cloud doesn't need healed, but Zack sort of does, and we need Zack to be alive because he's going to get grabbed and imprisoned shortly. When he's doing this certain attack, we need to keep playing as Zack, keep Zack alive, so that when the imprisoning thing occurs, Zack's going to be taken. Because Cloud's the damage dealer. So yeah, Zack's been captured or frozen or whatever. Now Cloud's got his 2 ATB. He's going to do wind. He's so close to being staggered. My heart was going so fast here. Block the attacks. Always block the attacks. I think I pulled out his limit. Is that Ascension or just Cross Slash? Does that put him in this staggered? Yes. And now Cloud, do your wind level 3, and I think this was Odin going down. Come on. And Zack was freed. And there we go. Thank God that's over. Even just watching it back, it's so tense. Never want to have to do that again. Bonds of Friendship, hardest thing in the game. Honestly, maybe harder than quite a lot of FromSoft games that I've also got the platinum in. Just because you had to do things in a very specific way. This is the other brutal challenge where this time Sephiroth was your ally. Not going to show a lot of footage from this because it was pretty much the same thing, only Sephiroth is there being badass. And he can build up limit so easily. We kind of came in clutch here and did the synergy move to finish off Bahamut. I thought that was cool, so I left it in. But yeah, Sephiroth, he can just spam this circle dodge and then triangle to build up his limit gauge so effortlessly, and you sort of just do that for most enemies. And Cloud's still doing his prime mode spam wind ability and everything, while Sephiroth's just building up his limit gauge and spamming that. Yeah, circle dodge triangle, and then you get your limited up. Sephiroth's just going to do his limit. He's going to stagger him, I'm pretty sure. Pretty lucky that we had limit just at the right time to stagger Odin. And then Cloud's going to spam prime mode again, build up his 2 ATB. And he's going to do wind. And Sephiroth, can you do wind too, or are you just going to spam? we're just going to do your synergy ability, I guess. Oh, but he was already taken out. So yeah, we just did that for nothing. But yeah, the Sephiroth one, it's pretty simple in comparison to Bonds of Friendship. Because you've got so much training from the Zack one that you sort of know the bosses inside out by then. And Sephiroth's just so badass and can gain limits so easily that it becomes pretty simple. So that's the To Be a Hero one. And yeah, for these VR challenges, Virtually Renowned is the trophy. I think you should really unlock Zack and Sephiroth as playable characters for hard mode. Like a virtual version of them that joins your party or something. I guess it would be weird to have Sephiroth fighting Sephiroth at the end of the game in hard mode. But you should be rewarded with something like that if you did this, and it makes hard mode really easy. If you have Sephiroth in your party where he's just spamming his Octo Slash or whatever. Again, another little piano thing. Once you've done the 7-star hotel, which I did with Johnny, you unlock one winged angel. You don't really get anything for completing it or A ranking it, but I decided since it was like the last thing to do in the game, really, I would go ahead and A rank it with Aerith playing it because it's funny. And yeah, she got the A rank. It took a good while to get that, and I just sort of did that for completionist sake. It's not really part of the platinum. But yeah, I did all the piano stuff. Then I did hard mode. Not going to show a full run of hard mode, but I just wanted to show where Bart came in clutch here during the Demon Gate. Everybody else was down. He had some health. He just got his limit break out in time, and he finished off the Demon Gate. And yeah, that was just kind of badass from Bart. And he also comes in clutch in the final boss rush against Genova and Sephiroth, which I think I'm just going to cut into now. Halfway through it, everybody was sort of injured. Yuffie was still around, but yeah, he just managed to get his limit break off. And Yuffie, did you cure us? Or cure Bart? I think I cured Bart because I was like, we need Bart out here. He's going to be the one that rescues this. Red 13 was down. There was a strategy for doing this that I could have been following, like I followed for the VR challenges OptiNoob on YouTube. I think 90% of people followed his guides, and he did have one for this, but my characters were in a different order than his, so I sort of had to improvise and do random stuff, like right now when I'm just desperately trying to siphon limit gauge with Bart. Is that what I do here? No, I bring out Ninja Carbine. So Yuffie and Bart, they came in clutch here. Oh god, look at our health. Everybody was at 1 point of health, or dead in the case of Red 13. And we just managed to get this off. The synergy ability, I think, did we just do enough damage that we won here? And I don't know what I was trying to do here. Maximum Fury or something? Oh no, we took them out with the synergy just in time. Everybody was at 1 health. That was insane that I managed to get through that. And then we're going to fight Sephiroth with Aerith. It's the final fight of the game in hard mode. I think I was trying to sort of follow a strategy that I was reading on my phone at the same time, but it just completely fell apart here, and Aerith got taken out so quickly, and Cloud had to really solo the entire thing again. Aerith's supposed to look pretty badass coming in here. She is badass in the main game when this happens, coming in out of a portal like Avengers Endgame or something. And it's like Aerith Gainsborough has joined the party, and it was like, oh, this is badass. But in hard mode, it doesn't really have the same effect because I got her knocked out really pretty quickly, and then Cloud just had to rely on the good old fashioned prime mode at spam level 3 wind, or maybe it was level 3 fire I think I had as the setup in the main game. So you had to sort of watch these little cutscenes in between the fights here. So prime mode, ATB boost, Sephiroth's on you right away, try to block his attacks, get the 2 ATB up, swap to Aerith. I think she was supposed to get Arcane Ward down, start spamming fire as well, and maybe healing us, but she was just getting destroyed there. So I swapped back to Cloud, try to do some fire damage. in the prime mode. Try not to worry about Aerith. I was like, because I've sort of forgotten what she was meant to be doing in this strategy. Probably just buffing us and healing us. But yeah, it wasn't gonna go well, because Sephiroth just brought out this attack, and I was like, I'm just gonna stay behind him. Aerith just got hit with it. There's nothing really to do. She probably needed mana wall or something on her, or mana ward, or whatever it is. So now it was just Cloud and Sephiroth. Then I bring out the limit gauge. Probably shouldn't have wasted that here, but I was just so scared that Aerith had went down, and now it's just me and Sephiroth. It's probably more badass that Cloud did this on his own. And yeah, just spamming level 3 fire, trying to stagger Sephiroth and build up the 2 ATB to continually do that. I had no idea really what I was doing. Any attempt to follow a strategy had sort of fallen apart because Aerith was down. So now I was just like, I'm going to dance around, build up the 2 ATB and get off fire level 3 when I can. I have Swift Cast on it, so it should help me out. Oh, was Cloud grabbed here or something? I thought this was the end of the game, honestly. Well, it is actually the literal end of the game, but I thought this was the end of this run because Cloud was on low health, but I just managed to get fire off there. Still trying to do prime mode. These ranged attacks were messing me up. Somehow staggered Sephiroth. Got knocked out of prime mode, but it's okay. We got back into it again. Get fire level 3 out. That'll heal us. So that was a bit of security. If I hadn't messed up here, I probably could have done 2 level 3 fires before he got out of this. Fire again, and then he did I do? Yeah, he just went into the limit break. He sort of dodged away, and then he started doing this big crazy attack that I didn't know if there was any way to survive. So I was just like, okay, this is going to be the cheesiest thing of all time, but I'm just gonna dodge, get in a few attacks, build this 2 ATB, and just pray that I can get a fire level 3 before any of this stuff can hit me. I don't know if Sephiroth just intended to do this forever, just spin around in a circle doing his attack. But I was like, I'm not stopping, I'm just going to keep doing this. I'm alive, I can do this. I'm going to fire off the attacks. Get fire level 3 out of here. And it just managed to stagger him, and he's barely got any health left. And I was like, okay, I've done it, it's fine. I'm going to get level 3. I'm going to get the fire level 3, and then we're going to be healed, and it's all going to be fine. Don't worry, Aerith. You really had nothing to do in this fight. But yeah. So that was hard mode down. A lot of hard mode wasn't too bad because you're so overpowered. But the final chapter 14 boss gauntlet, it was pretty insane. So of hardy stock, that's for doing everything on hard. And that was the last thing I needed. Chapter 14 on hard. And then finally, after like 200 hours, the platinum trophy was mine. I had a great time, but a lot of it was really, really damn hard. And I still can't believe I got through it. Somebody at Square was having a bad day when they signed this platinum.